All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our regular public council meeting for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, here in the town of Torbay. First bit of business, new business. Councilor Manning.
Pass.
Councilor Pollard.
Pass.
Councilor Whitten.
Pass.
And I just got thanks. Okay, is there anybody that would like to get on the first Q&A session? Okay, just a second. Madeline? Okay, anyone else? Could I get your name? Derek Chafe. Is that it? Okay. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please? Moved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried, thank you. Regular public council minutes for January 20th. Could I get a motion to adopt, please?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any errors or omissions?
Mayor, there's actually one. I declared a conflict in the last meeting, and I left the public council meeting and I sat in the gallery with regards to the motion for my business. So could we please make an adjustment for that? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other errors? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. Special public council minutes for January 26th. Could I get a motion to adopt those, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any errors or omissions?
The motion that was done is not included in the minutes.
Oh,
There was a motion that was done at that meeting, if I'm not mistaken.
infrastructure and public works. The motion is not there. Okay, can we get that added, Kim, please? All right, thank you. All right.
Conversion from Word to PDF, so it must have lost its function.
All right. So we'll get that updated. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Conflict of
That'll
interest?
have to come back again, though, Your Worship, right?
What?
That will have to come back again.
Yeah, it'll have to come back, yeah. All right. Proclamations. 211 Day Proclamation. Councillor Whitten.
The 211 Day Proclamation, increasing awareness of 211 in Newfoundland and Labrador for National 211 Day, February 11th, 2026. Whereas February 11th is proclaimed as 211 Day in Newfoundland, Labrador, and whereas the main goal of 211 is to connect people in our province with help when they need it most. 211 is Canada's primary source of information and referral for government and community-based programs and other social services. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is free and confidential, and can accommodate over 150 languages. It can also connect people to clinical programs and services upon request through life transfers. All calls are answered by trained and certified service navigators who are ready to listen, assess, provide service navigation, and referrals if needed. And whereas 211 will be organizing building illuminations, inviting mayors of municipalities in Newfoundland and Labrador to proclaim February 11th as 211 Day, distributing 211 promotional materials and offering information sessions, both in person and virtually, to raise awareness of the 211 service. And whereas these activities will raise awareness of the 211 information and referral service, and that it can be accessed by anyone living in Newfoundland and Labrador by phone, website, or chat.
Therefore, I, Mayor Craig Scott, do hereby proclaim February 11, 2026 as 211 Day in the municipality of Torbay. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. All righty. Presentations, we have none. Q&A, Madeline. Is that microphone on?
Good evening. I have something a little different.
Can you turn the button on, the one on the right?
Right-hand button.
There you go. Thank you.
Good evening. Sadly, on Sunday night, I was broken in. Again, this is the second time. There's been a rash of break-ins on Indian Mill Line, all the streets around it, Gosses, Rogers Crescent, Upper Evenings Path, and so on. Everybody knows who it is, but that doesn't help the situation. So the police were very good. They actually came down quite quickly because they were already in the area. And so I really quite appreciated the fact, because the first time it happened, I only did a report on the internet. And in fact, they have been patrolling the area specifically for this individual. So I feel, and I think they feel as well, that the town has a role to play in situations like this where there is a rash of break-ins in a particular neighborhood. It's not like it's the first time. So I would really appreciate if the town would consider putting an alert on the town website, advising people to be very careful, to be vigilant, lock their, so far the theft have been of sheds and garages only. So still there's a lot of expensive stuff in those, and that's what they look for, is equipment, tools that are easy to sell. And I think that there's definitely a need. I know there's been a lot of chatter on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, and I know there's a lot of people not on Facebook. And I think there's a role for the town to play in acknowledging this problem and making sure that people are aware so that they can be careful. And perhaps it's time, I think it's been a while, for the RNC to come and perhaps have a town meeting just to discuss more in detail what people can do to prevent this. You wouldn't believe what my husband's been doing these days to try and prevent this. It's unbelievable, the measures that they will go to. So they were able to look at the tracks and so on and track it, but it happened 2 or 3 hours before. So there was no police dogs involved or anything, and I don't think they would call police dogs for a shed break-in, but a garage break-in. But they broke the door, a steel door, actually, and the deadbolt, they pushed it in, kicked it in. So last year was the shed. So anyways, that's what I'm here for tonight.
Yeah, and I hear you. And I've had some members of my family, because my family's from in the midline.
Yeah.
And we've had some break-ins there, and we actually were contacted yesterday. And I know that CAO reached out to the RNC or the RNC reached out to us, so we're back and forth. And we'll continue to do that. But as far as your about a notice on the town website, you can take that into consideration and look at doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's horrible. And I know that we're going to ask our MEOs to do some more, I guess, drive-bys and surveillance in that area. But we just got to be very careful too, because we don't want them to put themselves in any
Yeah.
kind of
Well, maybe I could talk to you after the meeting.
yeah.
But I would also point out that I've been in that house for over 42 years. And last year was the first time ever that I had something like this happen. So it only takes one bad individual to be moving into the neighborhood. But I think the record is pretty good anyways. But there's a very bad feeling when you see this. And actually, around 8 o'clock, my dogs barked their head off inside, and we let them out, and we were probably still in the garage. But they bark all night anyway, so we didn't go out this time. Now we go out about half a dozen a night.
Right, okay. Well, be careful. So, all right, thank you. So we can follow up with the RNC on that. All right, thank you. Derek?
Good evening.
So you got 5 minutes, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I know that people get kind of flustered when the beeper starts going off, that's all.
Yeah. Well, to make it a little easier, I sent everybody an email earlier in the week concerning our issue with the development at 45 Robbins Pond Hill. I don't need to rehash all of those items. One of the items actually was just covered with regard to break-ins. The developer said that this will lessen break-ins, but obviously that doesn't always pan out. We have some pretty serious concerns with what's happening there with regard to the water that we are using right now, the water that's in the ground, how much they're going to require, and also the wastewater that they're going to be dumping into that area from the 12 units. We done a quick Google search, and the North American average wastewater per person is about 100 gallons. Now that's just a Google search. So to be conservative, if we said everyone dumped a 45-gallon drum of wastewater a day, so just to give us a visual, in that unit there we'd have probably 24 to 48 of those 45-gallon drums been dumped on that piece of property every day. So the water has to come out of the ground, be used, and then it's dumped again as wastewater. So where's that wastewater going? It's a very small piece of property. It's on a hill. It's a rock face, and it drains right down into our properties and then down into White Away's Pond. Now, White Away's Pond is not, as I understand from the mayor, not classified as a water source, but you're using it today. So it may not be designated, but when Great Pond comes online, White Away's Pond could be your little canteen for when you get more development, more water needs, and this pond, I think, should be kept as a reserve in your back pocket for other water. And not only that, then there's the traffic. I've been going back and forth that road now for 40 years. My wife's family has owned the property up there since 1960, 59, 60. So we've been back and forth that area for a long while. And the amount of traffic that's there now, the road can just handle it. If we meet somebody coming out, we have to pull off the pavement so they can pass. So there's not enough room for anybody to get in or out. If there's a truck or something coming, you've just really got to get completely out of the way. So to introduce that much traffic, that many people to that area, I don't think is going to work out. We are completely against it. Every resident that I've spoken to is completely against it. Speaking with some friends of mine, they think it's ludicrous, but they're not living here. But I really, from mine and my wife's opinion, we think that this should definitely not be approved here tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, mayor's report. Number 2. It's the first of the month. Birthdays for February. Desiree Finley, February 4th. Hannah Cooper, museum educator. Oh, Desiree is in corporate service administration. Samuel Goss, part-time rec program staff. Donna Norvey, heritage coordinator and museum registrar. Lisa Lewis, infrastructure and public works. And Bob Goss in infrastructure and public works. So I wish you all a happy birthday, and hope you have a good, safe one. One other thing that I want to mention, and I'll do it now, or will I do it later? I'll do it later. That's good enough. Okay. Business Horizon report. Any comments or questions on any of that? Oh, okay.
Did we provide an update with everybody as to where we are with sort of our conversations with the feds and stuff? Did we update everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the federal, the CHIF funding, you mean? Yeah, we've got a committee struck internally. There's a number of us staff that are on that committee. And we're currently now drafting the RFP for the owner's advisor. That's near completion. The guy in our planning division is doing a lot of work on that, and we have another meeting scheduled for this Friday where we anticipate reviewing the final version, and then that will go for legal review and then come to council.
Okay, thank you. And as well, the update, I don't know, between meetings, we met with representatives of the federal government. Was that between two meetings, or do we?
Yeah,
update
that was.
last time?
Yeah, that was in between the meetings that the committee is having. That's kind of a separate. Yeah. I met with the federal government, so that was basically an update, and still more information to come on that.
Okay. Anything else? All right, thank you very much. Correspondence, we have a thank you note here from Juniper Ridge Intermediate, and thank us for our contribution towards their Welcome Back barbecue. Okay, you're welcome. Info note from M&L, January 22nd, talks about the 2026 events that are coming up. And we have another info note from January 28th, talk about wastewater systems and effluent regulations survey. So I guess, and road projects, it looks like they are looking for a lot of information from us, so I guess we'll, everybody can get on there and fill out those surveys if you like. And we have a correspondence from the Municipal Assessment Agency, Board of Directors, information purposes, and we can send that to David.
David's son is featured there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, picture of him on the end.
Oh, yeah, look at that, Nicholas Pine. Congratulations, Nicholas. What'd he win? Oh, yeah, scholarship. Good for him. And congratulations to the other winners too as well. All right. Moving on, committee of the whole, nothing, planning, land use development, Councillor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. We met on Wednesday, 28th of January, and thank you, Your Worship, for stepping in for the second on the committee. First item up for discussion is indeed the 45 Robbins Pond Hill Road, 12-unit residential development. So we're receiving an application for a residential condominium development, so it's a little different than a rental unit. It encompasses 2 6-unit road dwelling structures, single story in height, proposed to be serviced by private on-site services, and certainly off-street parking. The committee reviewed it and also reviewed the letters from residents, and both for and against. Obviously, there was more against than there were for. I think there was 11 against and 1 person in favor, or 1 group in favor. The 11 were pretty similar in terms of information that they provided and concerns that they did. The information was passed on to the developer, and the developer responded somewhat. So I'm going to read the motion as it stands here, and then we can discuss it further. Motion to conditionally approve application C 2025-167 for the construction of a 12-unit residential road dwelling apartment building complex in condominium ownership on non-domestic well and septic system at 45 Robbins Pond Hill Road in accordance with the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025, specifically Regulations 2133, 54, 55, and 90, the Torbay Subdivision Engineering Guidelines, the residential infill land use zone table, the detailed conditions outlined in attached background report, including the extension and pavement of Robbins Ponds Hill Road with turnaround circle to subdivision engineering standards, conditions outlined by external and internal agencies for well, septic, and fire life safety considerations, the preservation of existing vegetation as a landscape buffer where possible, and a more detailed and varied facade treatment to tie to the aesthetics of the development into the character of more rural neighborhood. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
I just want to say, committee discussed this in terms of the letters as I indicated, Your Worship, and with reference to the well and septic, that is really, while we may approve it, it's not town controlled, it's determined by the province, Service NL, and Water Resource Management. I know my experience with a condo this size, that is not a normal septic system. It's usually slightly larger with increased capacity and more environmentally friendly scenario, but certainly within the guidelines as laid out by the province, as is also the well and the water system, and that'll have to go through a step test run to determine what the demand is on a well. And I know I can speak from personal experience in terms of a well and a condo, because I do happen to live in the condo at Piperstock Hill, and that is on a domestic well and is not on water and service as one of the letters did say. And you know, we haven't experienced any issues on that side of things. Anyway, that's my own take on it. But anyway, that is the information that we were asked to bring forward, and if anybody else cares to speak to it, please feel free.
Okay. Any other comments?
Your mic, Jenny?
They did mention, you know, if we improve the motion that, to have a level 2 groundwater assessment done, and I guess that kind of ties in with the well and septic and that kind of thing. So is that something we should,
I think the step 2.
the step test that
Julia
you're
can
talking
explain.
about? And that goes through our government services.
So the town doesn't set the requirement for what type of an assessment is required. It's the Provincial Water Resources Division, and it's the Water Resources Act. So where there is I call it the commercial well, but it's called a non-domestic well, is a little bit different from a level 2 groundwater assessment. The level 2 groundwater assessment would be for a larger subdivision with a number of larger private lots. This particular situation is a non-domestic well. It's more site-specific and has to run some very specific yield and intense tests to see what the yield is in the ground. And that will then also determine the final number of units. So if it can sustain the 12 proposed units, so that'd be it. But if the test results reveal it can only sustain 10, let's say, or there's certain requirements, then Water Resources would direct the developer and advise the town of the same. So that's kind of how it works.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other comments? Okay, call the question. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay.
The next motion is to accept 2026 permit listings for the weeks ending January 29th, 2026 as tabled. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And the other information is there for anybody who cares to review it. I won't go down through it all because there are a lot of things in the hopper at the present time.
Okay,
And so on is that report, Your Worship.
thank you. Admin and HR. Councillor Whitten.
You're going to be hearing me talk a lot tonight. So we had our meeting on the 26th of January. Recruitment selection, we have the Director of Emergency Services Fire Chief. And that position posting has closed. So we are hoping to have the hiring process completed on or before Friday, February 6th. And we will further be updated once available. We are looking for a seasonal heavy equipment operator for the 2025-26 snow clearing season. We are looking to fill that position as soon as possible. The infrastructure and recreation worker 1 part-time casual position, that one is also, we are hoping to fill that as soon as possible. It would be working with the part-time casual infrastructure and recreation. Other items we talked about is the retirement announcement of Mr. Bob Goss. He's a working foreman with Infrastructure and Public Works. Bob has been working with us for 35 years, and it is a wonderful achievement. And we wish Mr. Bob a great retirement, a happy retirement. Ergonomic assessments have been done at the Town Hall and the History House, and they were in consultation with Jason Dalton. He is an occupational therapist, and each director has been given the reports, so we'll go from there. We will now meet again on February 9th at 10 o'clock, and our meeting adjourned at 11. And that is all. There's some other things there you can read through, but that's the gist of everything.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No? All right, thank you very much. Corporate Services, Councillor Pollard.
Thank you, Your Worship. We met on the 29th, myself and Councillor Manning. Payroll report for the 15th to 28th of January. payroll in the amount of $100,562.47 for 58 employees. Back to it again. You'll see there's a municipal assessment agency supplemental schedule. They have reduced the number of supplementals to twice a year now, down from, I think the previous was 4 times. And supplemental is the number of times a year that we get to update our tax roll based on, construction, sales, transfers of property, things of that nature. Those are there. The invoice is over 5,000 for council approval. This is so difficult to do today for some reason. First one is the Brand Tractor for an angle blade in the amount of $15,482.45. Brentag Canada Inc. chlorine for the treatment plant, $8,946.13. Cody Construction and Excavating for a generator rental, $7,854.50. Greenfoot Energy Solutions, mini splits for the fire hall, amount of $10,039.50. LSW Wear Parts Limited, cutting edges for the winter fleet in the amount of $36,076.65. Newfoundland Exchequer, payroll tax for December 2025, $11,475.89. Receiver General of Canada payroll deductions, January 1st to the 15th, $49,464.90. Safety Source Industrial for bunker gear in the amount of $10,308.49. Big R Restaurant for the seniors' Christmas dinner in the amount of $11,265.80. Triware for the prepaid support in the amount of $5,750. And Xylem Canada for pump, hose, and generator rental in the amount of $6,074.42, all totaling $172,783.73. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
There's one more motion here, Your Worship, and that is the motion for Gale Force volleyball team. We have 2 players going to national on these. So resolve the council approve a donation of $200, $100 each to Taylor Bradbury and Paige Mitchell, both members of Gale Force volleyball team. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And so ends that report, Your Worship.
Thank you, sir. All right, number 2. Economic Development, Tourism, History, and Culture, Councillor Whitten. No, Councillor Manning. Oh, yes, Councillor Whitten. So Whitten. Carry on.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
We had met on the 26th of January. So in our economic development, the History House Annex project, the committee is bringing forth following 2 motions for acceptance of funding from the provincial and federal governments. Motion 1, the committee recommends acceptance of the offer of funding from the provincial government, Department of Jobs, Growth and Rural Development Fund, in the amount of $179,350 to support the construction of the History House Annex. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Motion number 2, the committee recommends acceptance of the offer of funding from the federal government Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency in the amount of $358,700 to support the construction of the History House Annex. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
I think those 2 amounts we talked about in conjunction with the money we received from as a donation and to build the annex, so it looks like it'll be pretty much all covered from non-tax dollars, shall we say, so it's great news.
Yeah. Any other comment?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
In other news, community economic dashboard we're looking to develop. There are discussions are ongoing with the province and ACOA to determine if there's support for this project and to move it forward. The concept paper is attached here if you would like to have a look. We have a virtual engagement workshop about the Regional Transportation Initiative. It's going to be held on February 10th, and like I said, it is virtual, and it is going to be open to other Killick Coast communities and residents, so if you're able to make it, drop online. Marketing communications, we have started work on the Best of Torbay event with the Recreation Department, and it is very similar to last year. And the spring guide is also in the works. History House, the Heritage NL is partnering with Torbay History House and the town of Torbay to host a women's labour in Newfoundland and Labrador scanning party. There's field trips being planned now for local schools. They like to come over to the History House during the school day. And planning is underway for spring and summer programming and events. And that is it for us. We have another meeting on February 9th.
All right, any questions?
Just the concept paper, when I went to click the link, the paper is not attached. At least I
It's
didn't
not
see it. If someone can forward a copy to me, I'd appreciate it, or point me in the direction to get it.
All right, we'll see what Gary has to say. I can't get it either.
Yeah, I'm not getting it, no.
Yeah.
It's an icon error.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
it's not, it's linked to our server, which it shouldn't be, so we'll see what.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. Infrastructure and Public Works, Councilor Manning.
Thank you, Mayor. We had our meeting on Tuesday, January 27th. Myself and Councillor Martin and Director Brian Winter. The minutes are there. I'm going to do a bit of a highlight here now. So for the North Pond water treatment, as per our special meeting on January 26th, the town was successful in obtaining an additional $4.4 million for the project, which now makes this project fully funded. That was great news for the town. The RFP for the project is due to close in late February. Now, unfortunately, we were down to one proponent bidding on the project. The second one withdrew from the process, citing possible budget issues. The Great Pond Water Treatment Project. Staff are currently working on an RFP for Owners Advisory, and we've established a committee to go through this process. So that's all in the process there now. The Common Generator Project. Generator is now in the province and should be ready for installation later in February. So we should see the conclusion of that in the next little while. North Pond Water. A precautionary boil water order was issued on Wednesday, January 21st, due to the buildup of frazzle, ice, on the intake screens caused by the cold temperatures and high winds. We had divers were on site and cleared it up within a few hours. However, some chlorinated water did get into our system, so therefore a precautionary water boiler was required. And the precautionary boil water order was lifted on the 28th. So that should be all cleared up there now. And if necessary, Brian can speak to that shortly. Snow clearing and ice control. A reminder to the residents that December the 1st to March the 31st, town-wide parking ban is in place. Also, we'd like to remind residents to have their garbage boxes shoveled out and accessible for collection, please, and thank you. For more information on snow clearing regulations, check out the town's website. Also, our plow tractor application on the website should be up and running within the next couple of days. So I find the provincial one tracking good, so hopefully this will be of use to our residents also, right? Now, and that's pretty much it. The minutes are there, so if there are any questions about any remaining items in the package, feel free to ask.
have one on 4E. It refers to the email received through council, and it says here that committee agreed that the director should respond accordingly to the water security, regional collaboration, cost efficiency, and taxpayer equity question that was posed from a resident.
Yes.
I'm assuming that, not that I don't have all the confidence in the world that the director can't answer it, just saying that I think it covers more area than Public Works itself. So I assume that's coming back to council with a combination of answers from Public Works, Finance, and things of that nature before that goes back as a response.
Yeah, please do that.
Yes, sir, we can do that, certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? I think that was interesting about the frazzle ice, because I never really heard about it until probably kind of this year, maybe. And then that was the exact same problem they had at Beta Spare generating station with the frazzle ice building up in the intakes of the generator. And of course, there was power brownouts, I guess
Yeah.
they would call them. They were intermittent power outages. So it's interesting. It is an issue, and obviously it wasn't an issue just for us. I think the weather conditions where it melted and the pond opened and then it got really cold really fast with the high winds is what created that issue. So other than that, hopefully we'll be good now for the next period of time, now that the pond froze over, and we should be fine. The water level is up to a good standard. So good job, everybody. Thank you. Alrighty, Recreation, Community Services, Councilor Whitten.
So we ended up having our meeting on Wednesday, January 28th instead of 27th. We had discussed a few programs and events, the time in Torbay. We have come up with a tentative plan for a cornhole tournament on July 31st, adult concert on August 1st, and a family event on August 2nd. The spring programs and events, we reviewed the draft spring guide and made a few little changes, but everything looks good to go. So registration for residents opens on the February 25th at 10 a.m. and March 4th for non-residents. Best of Torbay, we have, the director updated us on the plan for this award event, which is scheduled for April 26th. The committee would like to further discuss the food and beverages that are going to be offered at this event at the next committee meeting. Nomination period for the awards will be announced in February. We looked also at the summer camp and Killicoast Games. We discussed staffing for summer camp, including staff to child ratios, as well as impacts on staffing for Killicoast Games. The sports camp will not run the week of the Killicoast Games.
Are we hosting Killicoast this year?
No, that would be Flat Rock, Pooch Cove. Facilities, outdoor sports fields, rent request forms have been sent out to all outdoor field users. And their community gardens, the director informed the committee that the community garden committee has been informed that the Holy Trinity Lane location will be closing effective this growing season. We also discussed some staffing schedules as they relate to Recreation Department. And our next meeting will be on February 10th. And that is all.
All right, thank you. Any questions? I got a question. So, and it's, I don't think it's, well, it's kind of recreation. So, Director, I just wanted to make everybody aware that our inclusion committee met last week. Myself and Councillor Manning and some members of our committee, along with Director Jan. And can we need to include that somewhere in our agenda here? Because I'd like to be able to bring those reports, or I'm not assuming you took minutes, right?
This meeting was before that meeting, but I can do it.
Okay, and we'll add it in, and I don't know if it should go under, I guess it should go under Recreation and Community Services as a advisory committee.
Yeah.
And that way we could bring those reports forward.
The initial thing we had said it would come under that committee.
Yeah, perfect, thank you. And are we planning for our Valentine's thing? Perfect, okay. All right, so, anyway, for those that don't know, this year we've decided, we struck a committee to look at inclusion within the town, specifically for, right now, what we're looking at is our persons with disabilities or special needs, to make sure that they're well represented in our programs and offerings that we're doing in the town, and make sure that they, it's not just one event that they have every year, the fire department special needs Christmas party. So we had a great discussion, and we're gonna have more meetings, and we're gonna come up with game plans on how we can do it. And once we start rolling those programs out, I think it's gonna be great. It's awesome for the town to be able to do this, because, you know, we do stuff for seniors, we do stuff for kids, for young children, and there is a gap in our programming and offerings for people that are wide-ranging in their ages and their abilities, and we need to make sure that we're looking after everybody in the community. I think it's a great bit of work we've done so far, thank you. And it's only going to get better as we go forward. But thank you very much for that. All righty. Liaison committees, Atlantic Bears Congress, no update. Intergovernmental affairs. Yes, we've been back and forth with some meetings with the federal government to talk about additional funding for our Great Pond project. Those discussions are ongoing. And I think that, you know, we had a good meeting, actually, a couple of weeks ago with Minister Tibbs. We've sent in a application to try and recoup some of the money that we had to spend to do the pumping from Waterways to North Pond. And, you know, it was great to sit down and actually be able to have a chat with them about upcoming projects the town has, as well as Great Pond project and the need for us to find additional funding for that. So, I thank the minister for having us in and sitting down with us and having those conversations, and we'll continue to do that, as well as the federal officials and Minister Thompson, who we continue to try and work with. Jack Byrne. Mr. Pollard?
No update.
Update?
No.
Okay. Northeast Avalon Joint Council, I meant to send along the minutes from the last meeting to include in this council package, and I forgot, sorry. I'll make a notification. Actually, I'll ask the clerk to send me an email to ask me for them. We will be meeting, the next meeting is actually tomorrow evening in Mount Pearl, and our Director of Economic Development and Tourism is going to be in attendance to present on our regional transportation initiative that we have ongoing right now. There seems to be some interest within the Northeast Avalon region about that, and they're curious to hear about how we're doing. So it'll be our pleasure, I guess, to bring that forward to them tomorrow night. Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, as we talked about that earlier. And Madeline, we will request with the RNC about the potential of having some kind of public meeting. I know we did request it before. They're very reluctant to do public meetings now for whatever reason. They have their own reasons why they don't want to do it. But we can always follow up and ask again to see if they're willing to come down just to talk about increased crime in general, and also ask them for statistics from Torbay about the crime rates and stuff that we're dealing with. So we'll follow up with them. Torbay Volunteer Fire Department. Hey, buddy.
Thanks.
Did you mark him down that he was here?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
No update, but I would like to give a big shout out to members of the department who made their way to the fire hall before the snowstorm hit and got really bad, so they were ready, on call, ready to go. Kudos to those guys and girls.
Excellent. Thank you. I can mark that off my list of things to do now. All right. Urban Municipalities Committee, we haven't met since conference. The next meeting will be in Port of Basque on April 10th and 11th. So we'll have some to report back from there. I think myself and Councilor Manning are going.
Councilor Manning.
Okay. All right, that is that. Notice of motion, we have none. New business, everybody passed except me. So, I just want to say thank you to our staff and council for the amount of work that you put in over the last couple of weeks since we've been here and that you continue to do. And I know that the last little while has been kind of trying with the weather and I want to say a big thank you to our snow clearing crews who are out clearing snow. And I'm going to follow up with you later, Brian. I want to go on a ride on one of the dump trucks just to get an idea. And you know, I mentioned that because I was talking to Minister Gusney on the phone the other night, and he said, "Have you ever gone out in a ride on with one of your plow operators?" He said, "It's a good experience to give you an idea of what it is that you have to deal with." So I think I'd like to do that, and we'll figure it out. Maybe they don't want to take me, but we'll see. And as always, you know, thank you to residents for their feedback and their input into the decisions that council makes. And with that, I will stop talking. All right. Q&A. Is there somebody that would like to speak to an issue that was on tonight's agenda? Okay, thank you. Our next public council meeting is scheduled to take place Monday, February 16, 2026, 5 p.m. right here at the Torbay Town Hall Council Chambers. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.